Hello.
Get lost, loser.
Oh, this is much better. You can't take my money. Oh, this is much better. Is that a slave you own? Oh, this is much better.
National Socialism is the best.
This is better.
Soviet,
American.
Soviet,
American.
Soviet.
American.
God told me to convert or kill you. Welcome to Conflict. I'm Bob Garrity, the co-host of today's show, along with my associate producer, executive producer, and creator of the show, Dave Hunter. We have a very interesting show today for you. We're going to be dealing with the Korean War conflict and a gentleman by the name of Mr. Hollis Kandy Latson, who served in the Korean War at the age of 15. And he's going to tell his story about the Korean War conflict and his battle and struggle with PTSD since then for the last 20-something years.
Hollis?
David?
Yeah, thank you. Hollis, who were the Buffalo Soldiers?
The Buffalo Soldiers, to my knowledge, were a group of black soldiers who came out of Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and they were fought in the Indian Wars straight on up until the Korean War, and I think there they marked into the World War II. The 92nd Division were Buffalo Soldiers. Mm-hmm. They were called, but they got their names from the Indian Wars because their hair, the Indians called their hair like the buffalo's hair, Buffalo Soldiers, because of the hair. That's my understanding of and I just interviewed 2 Buffalo Soldiers in Washington, D.C. 3 weeks ago from World War II and the Korean War.
Well, that's interesting. We'll get a clip of that later in the show.
Okay.
And you were in the Korean War, I understand?
Yes.
In the Army?
Yes.
Now, tell us about that experience.
Okay. I went to the Army when I was 15. I went down to the Selective Service Station with my friend who had been drafted. I was 6'4", 185 pounds, and I was sitting there, and the recruiting officer said, "You want to go too?" I said, "Yeah." So they took me, and I did 3 months at Fort McClellan in Anson, Alabama, basic training, and I left there in December. Went to Fort Lawton, Washington. Was in Fort Lawton in Seattle about a month, and then I was on a troop ship of 4,000 men. We sailed for 14 days and stopped at Yokohama, Japan, and then we left Yokohama, and we was on the ship, I don't know, a day and a half, and it was at nighttime, and all of a sudden a voice came on the loudspeaker and it said, "This is it, men. This is war." And we heard the booms, and we got our gear, went over the side of the boat. These amphibious little boats picked us up. It's about 80 men in each boat, took us to the beach at Incheon. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and when the boat let down, the gate let down, and we hit the sand, there was tracer bullets hitting in the sand all around us, and everybody was veering to the right. And I don't know to this day. To me, when I looked over to my left, I saw my friend Country head explode. I don't know whether it was Country. I don't know whether he lived or died, but looked like I saw blood skeet up in the air. I was running, and my friend Kraft, this white boy out of Pennsylvania who was a piano teacher, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't gamble. Country was a brother out of Georgia who shot crooked dice. He kept a pocket full of money, and he'd tell you a funny story, but the dice he was shooting was crooked. But he win all the money, making you laugh while he's cheating you out your money. But Kraft was this piano teacher, and Kraft didn't have his glasses on, nor his helmet, and didn't have his weapon in his hand. And he called me Slim, because I was tall and skinny. And all I heard was Slim, Slim, and he was going round and round in a circle. That's the last I seen of Kraft. I don't know whether he's alive or dead to this day. I never got a chance. All I knew, I didn't know Country's name. All I knew was his nickname, Country. And part of my post-traumatic stress disorder thoughts and nightmares is I wanted to go to Georgia. I don't know what part of Georgia he was from, but I wanted to go to Georgia to meet Country's mother and tell her that she had a good son.
Now, you had developed post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yes.
Now, was it from this experience or from the
Part
entire?
Of it. That was just one experience. When I filed my claim for post-traumatic stress, I listed 5 stressors. I belongs to a group at Long Beach VA called Combat Vet PTSD Group. And we share in that group about some of the stuff that we don't talk about with our families or other people, even other veterans, because it's not nothing to lay on people to expect them to understand. A lot of it's horror stories about war and blood and stuff. So, but that was one of the stresses that I listed, was landing at Incheon Beach. And one of the problems I have is this with my claim. I landed February 1952. We left Incheon Beach, got on deuce and a half trucks, and was taken right outside of Incheon to Warmingdale Island. It was 8th Army. We had a star in our patch. My patch, when I left there, was a lightning bolt and a pineapple, crimson and gold, the 25th Division.
That's the
division, unit I served with. And I keep telling the people at the Department of Veteran Affairs and the courts and everywhere else, this